Hi, welcome to Smack's online video tutorials. In this tutorial we're going to look at the e-commerce engine, and in particular we're going to look at the customer fields. So let's look at the customer. So we have a customer, and we've got a customer basic details. We've got name, company name, phone, email, billing address, delivery address, all the basic information that you would expect from a customer. But we've got specific items that we would like to receive from a customer with specific data pertaining to our business. So it could be specific areas, it could be a field that is perfect for our business. It doesn't include name and company. It could be something really unique. It's difficult to imagine the scenarios because so many businesses are so different. But Smack's e-commerce has the facility for you to have your own fields for the customer. So let's have a look at the customer side. Okay, so now I'm a customer. This customer has logged in, and we're seeing my details, login details, change password, delivery address, all good, billing address. But we're seeing here some interesting fields: text input, radio 1, checkbox, drop down list, and text area input. Plus we're seeing this delivery time area. So that's quite interesting. So we're seeing some additional fields in addition to the basic delivery address. So how do we set this up? So we set this up in setup, and now we're going to go to customer, and we're going to go to customized fields. So in a previous video we looked at the various fields that we can turn on and off, but this allows us to add new ones that are unique to our business. And to do that we need to go into setup. So here we go, we've got customized fields in the setup. So in a HTML and normal HTML, normal websites, we're going to have your basic text input, your radio buttons, your checkboxes, your drop down lists. So this is the way, these are the only ways of inputting data. And how we change the data types, we've got these drop down boxes here, drop down selection type. So you can see here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've got 10 extra fields that we can add at any time. So you can see here we've got how many we've got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fields, and we'll have that in relation here. There's 6 fields. We can say whether you required or not. So let's have a look and see how we set up these fields. So the first field is store delivery times. We'll look at this one last because it's a little bit more interesting. Text input, basically just input text. Text input box. Required fields, yeah, so the customer needs to add this when the customer makes the order. Unique to each order, if we click on unique to each order, it means each time the customer makes a purchase, these fields need to be re-entered. If we keep this the way it is, blank, it will reuse whatever data we have against this customer. So that's quite nice. So we can have unique to each order or not. We can store the data from a previous order and repopulate the data for this order, or just certain fields we can repopulate. So we've looked at text input. Yeah, that's very straightforward. Radio buttons. Where's our radio buttons? Here's our radio buttons here. Radio buttons. So we've got the radio buttons title. Here, the radio buttons title. And then we've got our options. So how do we add options? Well, we have to make an easy way of adding options. And the way we've done that is by a comma. So you have your text area box and you've got a comma in here separating each of these options. So if we add another one, and save, and we go to our client edit, we will see 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to hard refresh on this. Okay, and now we're seeing 4. So the comma gives us another field, and these fields are the data that we will receive once we receive the order. Let's go into an order, and we're seeing here is our customized fields, radio buttons, radio 2. So these are the options that this customer has chosen. So you can see that works quite nicely. So we're working on the setup of these options, but now I'm showing you what it looks like in an order. So let's go back into the setup. So we looked at radio buttons. Checkbox is just going to be a checkbox, and we'll know if that checkbox is ticked or not, and you're going to have your title of checkbox, which is this one, a checkbox, and we'll know if it's ticked. You can see the icons here. Drop down list works the same way as radio buttons, separated by a comma. Drop down list, so we can see we've got our list separated by a comma. Similarly, if I added another one in here, we're going to have another list, another one added. And we've got text area input. So that's different to a text input. It allows you to have multiple lines. So here's our text area input. This is our text input. So you can see the difference. That's quite nice. And we have 4 more options to choose from. So when we click on here, active, obviously it's going to make these options here active or inactive. And we can see here we got this one here is required. The asterisk means it's required, and we've got all these required. Okay, so that's all good. So now let's have a look at a very interesting one. Okay, so in here we've got a store delivery times. So we've got these options here: type, text input, text area, radio button, checkbox, drop down list, store delivery times, hours. So what this does is this allows the customer to select a time when the customer will be able to arrive for delivery. Okay, so here we're setting when the customer would like to receive their item. Now normally this would be with food. Let's say a pizza is you're going to want the pizza soon, and we're going to say, well, you know, can we get the pizza within an hour? Or maybe, you know, I don't need the pizza right now, I could do with the pizza in 2 hours. So the store delivery times means it's the optimum time the customer would like to receive their item if it's delivered. So it could be that you ordered the pizza and you say, well, 15 minutes, no, pizza I'd like in 2 hours. That'd be perfect for me. So when we go into here, we can see we're going to have our time. The customer will select a time when they would prefer their item to be delivered. So this is particular to online deliveries, pretty much same day deliveries. So how do we set this up? Well, we set up a field, store delivery times, and this can be, you type in a text here and that will come up. Store delivery times, when will we deliver? When would you like us to deliver? You could have this text, and then we've selected our time in here. So this is interesting here. So this, we need to know when the store is open. So when can we actually deliver these items? So that we set this up in here. So what in here, we've got a delivery time offset. So what this does is it gives us a time of delay of order. So if somebody ordered a pizza, well, it's not going to take us 15 minutes to make it. It's going to take us 60 minutes to make it. Or it's going to take us 2 hours to make it. So what this means is it gives us a delay on the time the customer would like to receive their goods. So the customer cannot select anything earlier. So if we said, okay, I'd like my pizza at 7 o'clock, and we're now at 6 o'clock, and you set a time of 2 hours here, you wouldn't be able to select that value. So this delivery time offset is the time it takes you to prepare the item. So there's no point saying, well, your item will be delivered in 15 minutes if it takes an hour to prepare the item. So if it takes an hour to prepare the item, you're going to say, well, 60 minutes it's going to take. So then the customer will have 60 minutes added on to their time of order to select when they can receive their item or delivery of whatever. So that's quite interesting here. So the other thing is we need to show the customer the times when the store is open and closed. So we can only choose times when not only is the time okay, but also the shop needs to be open. So we can see here all our times of store. So we've got a morning time, 9 o'clock. We can have an evening time. We've got open, closed. This is our Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So these are our opening times. So when we go into here, we can see that, well, you can't choose any other day. These are the times we're open. So you can only choose 9 o'clock because we're open at 9 o'clock. You can't choose the next day. So this field here is only for today. And how we work the day out, we know at the time of order what day it is. And when we find out what day it is, we can then look up and see, well, this is the times when we're open today, and these are the times that you can choose. So that's quite interesting. I'm sure there's so many different options for this. We've got a very, very basic option, very, very basic setup for this at the moment. But we can see this being a tool really valued, and it all is worked and fully tested. This was built 5 years ago, and it's fully tested. And it might seem complicated, but it works. And that's the most important thing, when it works. And then when you get your orders, you're going to see the order come through, and you're going to see, hey, store delivery times, because that was the field that we decided, but we could change the store delivery times to be, hey, I want my order now, and this is going to come up. So I think we're going to make these a little bit more obvious in the future updates. And that's about it for this tutorial. Thank you very much for watching.